Hi all, J. Harold Williams, retired grandfather, novice writer, coming to you today with my third update on the progress that I'm making writing The Squamata War, the third book in the series, The Marin Chronicles. A slower 2 weeks, sort of. I had hoped to be deep into chapter 3 by this time, but I found myself rereading the prologue and doing edits and tweaks and adding concepts. So that slowed me down. At some point, though, the writer has to just hold up his hands and say, enough already. Because you can always make more edits, you can always do more tweaks, you can always find a word that fits better or a way to write a sentence that sounds better, but you need to stop and move on at some point. And that's where I am. I'm pretty pleased with how the prologue turned out, and I did finish the first draft of chapter 1, which introduces the arch-villain Nebulosus. It also sets the dystopian tone for the rest of the book. So I'm pleased with where I'm at, and I'm ready to move on to chapter 3. This is probably a good time to introduce my second rule of writing, and that is, don't fall in love with your own writing. It's similar to enough already, in that you can always find a different way to write something, and sometimes you really like the way something sounds. You like the turn of the phrase or the word that's being used or the concept being introduced. But try as you may, you can't squeeze it into the chapter. It just doesn't quite fit. So you could spend time trying to make it fit, or you can just say, don't fall in love with your own writing and cut it out. For me, I like to cut them, and I keep a running list of notes at the bottom of my working manuscript. I paste it there. Maybe I'll use it in the future, maybe I won't, but at least it removes the roadblocks from finishing the chapter that I'm in. So remember, don't fall in love with your own writing, move on, and make the chapter work. So that's it for now. I'm trying to make these postings shorter. They're way too long. And also want to introduce what I hope to have for you next week. I hope to have chapter 3 update to give you. I'm really excited about chapter 3. I'm introducing a new character, Iesa. Iesa is a young Warsaw girl who gets trapped in the city that's been captured and occupied by Nebulosus's troopers. She's not too happy about that, and we'll see what comes of that. I'm also considering reading the first 2 paragraphs of chapter 1, those chapters that set the tone for the book. But we'll see. I haven't decided.